If you walk into the back room of any major department store, you will see the exact same sight. Rows of identical cardboard boxes stacked to the ceiling, waiting to be pushed onto shelves. Every single item inside those boxes is perfect. They're manufactured to exact microscopic tolerances. They're flawless. And yet, the moment they are purchased, a ticking clock begins. The initial excitement of buying them starts to decay. Within a few weeks, that high-end item is just another piece of clutter on a desk or a forgotten bottle on a dresser. It loses its voice. Now, contrast that with a completely different kind of object. Think about an ordinary, rugged piece of stainless steel, perhaps a dependable set of professional tools, or a heavy-gauge travel mug. On its own, it's just utility. But look closer, and you notice a clean, permanent line etched into the surface. It isn't a generic brand name. Instead, it's a specific coordinate of a first home, a raw piece of handwriting copied from an old family recipe, or a quiet inside joke from a decade ago. That object doesn't just sit there. It communicates. It forces the person holding it to pause, step back in time, and remember exactly who they are and where they came from. This stark contrast isn't accidental. It comes down to a fascinating mix of human psychology and neuroscience. When someone opens a standard mass-produced gift, their brain experiences a quick flood of dopamine. This is the chemical response to novelty and status. It feels great for a moment, but dopamine is designed to fade quickly. It's a short-term spike that demands constant replacement. This is why standard store-bought items suffer from what psychologists call habituation. Your brain literally stops noticing them because they don't offer any deeper meaning beyond their physical utility. Customized items, however, operate on an entirely different neural pathway. They skip the cheap dopamine rush and target the production of oxytocin, the hormone responsible for deep trust, emotional safety, and long-term bonding. When a person looks at an object that has been permanently marked with a piece of their own story, their brain's self-referential network lights up. The mind instantly recognizes a concept known as the effort heuristic. We are hardwired to value things based on the perceived cognitive effort it took to create them. The recipient knows that the giver couldn't just click a button for instant delivery. They had to remember a specific detail, collaborate with a maker, plan ahead, and wait for the craftsmanship to finish. In a world that prizes instant gratification, that investment of time is the ultimate signal of genuine care. Because of this, personalized objects hold an incredible structural advantage over store-bought alternatives. They completely resist the fading effect of time. Instead of losing value, they gain emotional weight the longer they exist. They transition from simple possessions into future heirlooms, the kinds of items that never get thrown away or donated, but are instead passed down through generations because the physical object has become the keeper of a family milestone. However, executing this correctly requires understanding a massive trap that many gift givers fall into. There is a profound difference between mere decoration and true communication. Engraving a standard corporate monogram or a generic name onto an item is just decoration. It looks clean, but it doesn't tell a story. True communication happens when the customization acts as a bridge to a specific, unique relationship. A date that marks a massive personal breakthrough, a phrase whispered during a turning point in life, or a design that honors a lifelong dedication that is how you transform raw metal, wood, or glass into an irreplaceable vessel. Because true customization is an art form rooted in precision, the process requires a real strategy. High-quality work takes time. When a gift giver tries to rush a custom order at the last minute, the magic evaporates. Craftsmanship cannot be cut corners on without sacrificing the final look and feel. Planning out your concepts just 2 to 3 weeks in advance ensures that the raw materials are handled with the absolute respect the relationship deserves. But what happens if you are completely backed into a corner by a deadline? The answer isn't to default back to a generic store shelf. The secret lies in the hybrid approach. You can easily pair a highly reliable premium product with a deeply personal custom add-on or an intricately engraved companion piece. This gives you the absolute best of both worlds. The immediate availability of an established product backed by the undeniable emotional gravity of personalized thought. We live in a culture of overwhelming material abundance. We can buy almost anything we want, whenever we want it, with a single swipe of a screen. We don't need more generic objects filling up our spaces. What we actually crave, what human beings are deeply starved for, is proof that we are truly seen, understood, and valued by the people in our lives. When you choose a custom piece, you aren't just giving a physical item wrapped in a bow. You are delivering a permanent anchor for a memory. You are proving to the recipient, without saying a single word, that their identity matters, that your shared history is worth preserving, and that they are worth the extra focus, the extra time, and the extra care. That is why the unique and the customized will always triumph over the mass-produced. It takes the ordinary objects of daily life and gives them a soul,